What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing today? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the second episode of the MattKnows Podcast. If you guys have never joined before, we're just doing this very casual right now. Steve joins us a little bit later in the show. He is, calling in from the UK, and his workday has not ended just yet. But he will be calling in a little bit later. We get him in. We take a 2-minute pause. I don't like to make you guys hang around too long. We take a 2-minute pause, and then he jumps right in. So what's going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? Again, if you are new, the first half of this show or so, might be less, might be more, is me hanging out with you guys and answering questions about virtual reality. I have about 2,000 hours in VR at this point. I have 8 different headsets, and I'm a complete VR enthusiast. You guys always have questions for me, and I just sit here and answer them. We tend to have a topic, like today is CES 2021. I do have a bunch of videos that I will be throwing up later in the show, that things we can discuss. But for now, it usually just devolves into you guys asking me random questions, and I answer them. Like, yes, I do now officially have an OnlyFans just because of you guys nagging me. No, I don't. No. Anyway, how's everybody doing today? You guys doing good? Gimme thick, man. You guys are always calling me thick. I try to explain to my wife. I'm like, the kids these days, they say thick. And that's like, when a girl's got a nice shape on her, a little extra goodness. And she's like, well, then why are you thick? I'm like, I don't know. But the OnlyFans is actually up there as a joke, or is it? It's totally fake. I don't know. Nah, it is a joke. I mean, listen, it's up there because people kept asking. You can send money through it, but I set it really high to deter people. And if you do end up joining, don't be disappointed. Don't do it if you're looking for nudes or something, because then you're off your rocker. But I will post a couple pictures up there and be chatty and tell like personal stories, but I don't expect anyone to sign up, and I don't recommend it unless you're looking to support me. Anyway, how's everybody doing otherwise? I'm more thick than most women. Would you recommend an upgrade from Quest 1 to Quest 2? All right, here we go, getting right into it. And then I'll answer the OnlyFans question. I do try and answer every single question. I usually end up getting behind in the chat. So if that's the case, just hold out, and I'll do my best to get to you. If you have your Quest 1 and you are completely happy with it right now, there is absolutely no reason to upgrade, in my personal opinion. It's not a $300 upgrade. Like, it's not worth $300, just the upgrade. You have the same games. Yes, they will look nicer. In some cases, they run better. But for the most part, it's 99.9% the same library of games. And the visual clarity, you really don't take advantage of it that much unless you're using it for PC VR. So if you're happy with your Quest 1, then just stick with your Quest 1 for now. Maybe a year down the road or later, when there's a lot more Quest 2 exclusives, which I think will become a thing, then you'll consider the upgrade. But who knows? They might have Quest 7 by then. There is no OnlyFans with my nudes. Stop it. Time to subscribe to my OnlyFans to make me extra uncomfortable. It would. I would definitely blush. But I wouldn't know until I checked my email later, so don't do it to try to embarrass me. What's OnlyFans? It's a donation site, but it's tend to be used by internet personalities to sell nudes. Okay? Again, this is a decently family-friendly show, but if you're around the internet, you're going to stumble across OnlyFans at some point in time. And the channel's been joking with me for the longest time ever to make an OnlyFans. And I'm like, yeah, sure. By the way, guys, if you do have questions, just mark them at Mateo311 so that I denote your question from back and forth chat. I am an accountant. No one asks you what you do when you say you are an accountant. Hi, is there a way to watch your IPTV service on big screen? Oh, so you're saying like if you have Comcast, or something like that. So let's see. To do it from big screen, I would only say if you're using big screen through, maybe I'm wrong, maybe someone can think of a workaround, but if you're using big screen connected to a PC. So if you're using virtual desktop or if you're using a PC VR, then sure, you can open up a web browser, connect to your IPTV. But if you're using a Quest, not that I can think of, in big screen, sorry. Devlin, that is inappropriate. I'm not even gonna say that out loud. That's inappropriate, and I'm sure other people are thinking that. How dare you besmirch the good name of OnlyFans? I made an OnlyFans account using pics of Mateo. Hey, of my butt. My butt is on the OnlyFans. What's going on? Get to the Chopper, guys. If you don't know, Get to the Chopper. He's a fellow YouTuber. He makes some funny VR content, so go check him out. And he does the best Arnold ever. Okay, what's your favorite color? I'm a big fan of red. Hey, camera. I'm over here. There you go, camera. Lost focus for a second. I need to shut off the autofocus. That's a rookie mistake. Let's see. Legit, how long before CES exists solely in VR? I think we have a while for that, buddy. Screens are easier, and they're everywhere. So screens for life. Are you looking forward to the CES headsets? So me and Steve will be talking about it later when he joins. I have some clips for you guys. I'm definitely looking forward to new headsets at all. Like in general, give me a Quest competitor. Only because I don't want Facebook to have a monopoly. They have too much control over the industry right now. I don't like some moves they make, but they are definitely pushing VR forward. That's undoubted. But I think we're going to need a competitor from China because they're the only one who's going to release a headset near the $299 price point. I don't see a US-based company jumping in to battle Facebook. Like, it's a huge investment that they don't want to take on. So maybe we'll get a headset from China that's as good or better than the Quest and doesn't have the Facebook restrictions. Again, if your concern is ethics, China is once again a question mark too. So we can't win. We can't win. Let's see. Hawk, I have played the Pavlov update. I have some clips later. I showed off some clips in my news video from Monday. Pavlov update is fantastic. I want to get a PC VR headset for $300 to $500. Do you think competitors for the Rift S is coming? Would buy that if it wasn't for Facebook. So right now, the Rift S is a discontinued product. Facebook has said they're not continuing that product line anymore. Everything will be standalone going forward. So it's a discontinued product line. At $300, I personally don't think it's a bad PC VR headset. But for $300, you might want to get the Quest 2 instead because you just get so much more versatility. It functions just about the same as a PC VR headset. There's some better points, some lower points. I'll go into them if you really need. But just for the sheer versatility, the Quest 2 is a better bang for your buck. But if you say I'm never doing mobile, then maybe. You could do, secondhand eBay, get a someone selling a Vive Pro super cheap, which is doubtful. It's tough right now. I mean, the headset, I would say, is the HP Reverb G2 because it's up here in some categories, like it's killing it in like resolution, but then people say the tracking's an issue and the Windows Mixed Reality software sucks. So at that price range, you don't have many options unless you go for another Windows Mixed Reality headset, which I'm not familiar with many of them, to be honest with you. Okay, let's see. Can you do a Terminator impression? No. Sarah Connor. That's my Terminator impression. My Arnold is the worst. It's based off of Will Sasso's Arnold from Mad TV. And it's not a good impression, but I'm doing an impression of his impression. And Mad TV was the best. His Arnold was hilarious.
Yeah, we're going to make a sequel because sequels make so much more, lots of money.
Can't wait for Star Trek holograms. I mean, of course. We're going to be talking about light field technology, which is a new type of VR technology from a company called Serial. It might make the future of VR just that much better. How was my holiday? Nathan, my holiday was awesome, dude. I hope you had a good holiday. I mean, it was quiet this year. I'm going a little stir crazy, stuck in my house. But the girls were happy, and, the wife is happy, so I can't ask for much more. It was chill. Nothing blew up. Everybody's healthy. Can't really complain. I need to learn Chinese before the new heads. If you watch my Monday's video, I got a Chinese picture translated. Two of my friends are fluent in Chinese, but they were struggling because one of them's fluent in traditional Chinese, and this was it's written in simplified Chinese. The other guy did a better job translating, but yeah, so I had to get a picture translated. If you watch my Monday news, okay. HTC apparently is back in the consumer VR space. I have commented on this. Wonder if they're ramping up to compete with the lower end market. They might bring a HTC Vive Focus, a consumer-based one, to market, which could be really good, but they're a hardware company. So I can't imagine it being near $300. They're going to have to do it at probably like $400 and maybe or even $500, and then try and throw in something to incentivize you, like getting the Vive Focus to work with a PC with their VivePort Infinity subscription or something like that. Let's see. Do you think Nolo headsets will be good enough competitor for Facebook? So Nolo's all over the place. Nolo's all over the place. By the way, Grumpy, Steve normally comes around between 12 and 12:30. So figure he'll be here in 45 minutes or less. Okay? I'm not good enough for you, Grumpy. Come on. I thought we had a truce. Hold on. I missed a couple comments. Just to remind the guys, if you have a question directly for me, just preface it with @Mateo311 because so I don't miss it. Helps. Pavlov. I did talk to Dave Zills. I know people are curious. Pavlov update for the Quest. No time soon. The World War II update is coming no time soon. His exact words. However, he did say there are updates coming down the pipeline for the Quest. Let me see. I got his message right here. Let's see. We're adding custom maps in lobbies and stats. That will release before 24. Before B24. Before the 24th? Before 24 hours? I don't know. I didn't ask for exaggeration, for additional information. I said, what about World War II? And he said, yeah, not anytime soon. That's his message. So that's Pavlov on the Quest. So the question was Nolo. So Nolo is all over the place. Nolo, they have their ODM headset, which is they're not making like a headset to compete with the Quest 2. They're making a headset design that they could give to other companies that can be rebranded and customized to a certain degree. This opens up the potential for other people who are like, all right, we didn't really want to, do a lot of research and development, but we're cool to get in that VR market. Maybe like a Sony, or I don't think Sony would do their own thing, but whoever else, they could pick up this model and produce some headsets. And I think that's amazing. The wild card or my main issue is how good is their tracking. It uses an ultrasonic tracking technology that I'm not familiar with, and I've heard in the past didn't perform fantastic. All right, let's see. Where are we at? Oh my God, I miss Mad TV 2. Yes, that was from the 90s and 2000s. I'm old. When do you think smell-o-vision comes to the VR landscape? It's not coming. There was a company that was making smell-o-vision, and because of the anti-vaping laws that have been passed, they had to just get rid of it. It can't be sold. So boom, that's gone. Do you play VR RTS games? I don't know many of them. Okay. I used to play, I actually did a live stream event for, I'm really annoyed at myself that I'm forgetting the name right now, the army-based one, Final Assault. I've played that. There aren't just a lot of RTS VR games. And if there was a solid one that, like, you know, felt great, I'd probably play it more, because that's a great experience. It's cool to look at the figures. Like, I really want Warhammer 40K, the actual board game, in VR. That's what I want. Can you use bHaptic on Quest 2 without virtual? Yes, you can, VR123. Guys, again, I'm doing my best to keep up with the chat. I'm about 2 minutes delay, which is normal. Yes, you can. bHaptics has native support for Quest apps. I want Samsung to come back in the VR space. They control the majority of panel manufacturing in the world, so them back in the VR would be amazing. So there's speculation on a new, the Samsung headset. They just showed off, I don't have clips for it, but they just showed off the wacky controllers, which I was really upset with. Unless I'm wrong, unless that's not Samsung, but I think it's rumored for that new Samsung bug-eyed, or what I like to call, looks like Miss Elastigirl doing a squat. I'll get a picture up, because if you see it, you can't unsee it. But the ring goes around your wrist, but the controller didn't have an A, B, and X, Y. So I don't know about that. I'll try and get a picture up. So Pavlov Shack update is far away. Yes, absolutely. When we get full body tracking on Quest 2? That's a good question. I don't know. I haven't seen anything to support it. The only true question is when Gorn releasing on Quest? Soon. They've been teasing it. I saw a clip of it today. Gorn is pretty awesome. Steve knows when I swarm. Me and Steve probably have some stuff we could discuss, some cool stuff for you. I know I've seen news about a full body haptics and tracking suit for about $400. Would you buy it? So I actually did one of my news videos on this. There was a Kickstarter for it. I'm very skeptical of it, but if it performs well, I'm all in. More convenient body tracking, because I have Vive trackers and they're a bit of a pain in the ass to use. So more convenient body tracking and haptics, $400, hell yeah. Swarm. Oh, get to the chop. You want to talk about Swarm? Swarm is something else. We need Xbox VR, something to help us push more people into VR. I would be down with that. I think Xbox will eventually jump in. Squinks play. I answered your question about RTS games. The only one like I really have played anytime recently that I can think of is Final Assault. There really aren't many. I played some like years ago, and I can't remember the name of it. But if there was a great one, like I said, I would do it. But I can't recommend any off the top of my head. Let's see. So let's form a cooperative and market a headset. I would love to get behind one. Eric for president, thanks for hopping in, man. I'm only 4 minutes behind on the chat trying to answer all these questions. What's going on, buddy? I personally, when I join a channel, I hate when someone doesn't respond right away. I know it's impossible, but I'm doing my best. Let me keep going through this chat with you guys. Well, let's go on. I want XCOM in VR. XCOM was absolutely amazing. Brass Tactics, I have... Oh, that's an older game. I haven't played that in forever. Let's see. Those Samsung controls would be awesome. Electrode array, like Valve Index, if they track your fingers. But we need a default button layout. Otherwise, we run into issues. Otherwise, we run into some headaches. Speeding up in this chat. Is the deck of gear real or a scam? They're trying. I think they overpromised and will underdeliver. That's where we were at deck of gear. They promised. They said we'll probably have a prototype for you available in January. It's now mid-January. I reached out to them. They haven't responded. I think something will come from them, but I think they overpromise and will underdeliver. Let's see. Is Machisel fine for middle to old age people? Yes. It's a puzzle game. It's cool. Let's see. PG version of OnlyFans. Huh? That's what my OnlyFans channel is. It's a PG version of OnlyFans. Paradise the K in the channel. What's going on, guys? By the way, a couple legends are here today. I already mentioned my buddy Get to the Chopper, but Paradise the K, Eric for President, Steve Knows. If you're not following these guys, you really should be. They're all amazing YouTubers, and they all have a completely different take on what they cover and how they cover it. You want to make my OnlyFans public? That shit ain't happening. My OnlyFans is just too juicy. It's just way too juicy for the public consumption. Robocop and VR would actually be ridiculous. Because, you know, Robocop, to take on the role of Robocop, fits into VR in a lot of different ways. One, you're taking on a role where you're empowered. Robocop is very powerful, and you would feel that more in VR. The sense of presence is higher in VR than other games. So you have that sense of, I'm really strong and this is awesome. But Robocop also has a cool HUD. You know, there's aspects they could do, like, you know, Robocop's getting hacked and you would see static and stuff like that. I think that could be a solid game. That's my new nickname. Okay. Let's see. What's going on? Love right back to you, Paradise Decay. Let's see. Do you know anything about VR MMO? Letters. Role-playing games, massively multiplayer, online, tongue-twisting words. Yes, I do. I'm following 4 right now. So there is Elysia, which I talk to the developers. Every once in a while I reach out and I'm like, hey guys, what's up? I'm hoping to voice act the character in their game. Oh, maybe I wasn't allowed to talk about that. I don't know. But I'm hoping to voice act the character in their game. But I've been talking to them. Elysia looks really cool. It reminds me of the first time I ever played EverQuest. It's got a really cool, like, feeling to it. Like, just walking around the world and watching it go from day to night and stuff like that. It feels like it has a lot of potential. Graphically, it's getting an overhaul right now. So if you go on my channel and check out the footage, you'd be like, it doesn't look great. But I think it looks really good in some areas. It's going to be on Quest 2. So that, I have a lot of hope in that. Archgate is another one, which is a third-person VR MMO, which is weird, but I got to try a demo of that and it looks absolutely beautiful. But that's also something different. That's going to be a live service with dungeon masters. So like there's going to be a limited number of slots. You sign up, you get assigned a DM. They give you, like, you can play generic content whenever you want, but then you have like scheduled games that are ran by a DM. If you don't know what a DM, it's Dungeons and Dragons, the Dungeon Master. I think now they call them GMs more commonly, Game Master. But yeah, so that I'm really pumped for. Nyx is another one, which is a cyberpunk theme one that's very early in development. Cool, but they do not have enough to show off to convince me just yet. Okay. All right, let's see. Eric for President is the reason why I have a Quest. I will not lie to you. So that's, you know, over a year ago now, this guy just did not shut up about 2 things. The VR space game, which the name is eluding me right now, and the Quest. The Quest. And I swear to God, he should have got a paycheck from Facebook. What was that stupid game you liked that you wouldn't shut up about it? The hell is the name of it? Space Junkies. Got it. Yes, Brain. Bonus points to Brain. Space Junkies. So, yeah, he wouldn't shut up about that game, and he wouldn't shut up about the Quest, and he really, honestly, he should have got a check from Facebook. And then they wouldn't give him a Quest 2. I'm going to make this face. You guys know how I feel about that if you're regulars on the channel. Yes, Nathan, you are 100% correct. PD absolutely does have a VorpX video about Cyberpunk. I haven't tried it. I haven't played with VorpX. I don't have a lot of time to tinker. Space Junkies was good. It's just if you can't keep people online, if you don't have a player base, you're done for. Actually, one of the best multiplayer games was ahead of its time, which was from Stress Level Zero, which was Hover Junkers. That came out around the release of the Vive, of the HTC Vive. And it was an online multiplayer, VR game. Totally ahead of its time. And a few months later, the player base dried up. And it was dead. I mean, luckily they went on to make Boneworks, which is also amazing. But yeah, Hover Junkers was good. I caught up on the chat. You guys amazed with me? A little out of breath doing it, but... do you know if there's any more VR companies scheduled for CES? So I am registered in CES as a influencer or whatever the heck. I have... PR, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I am part of CES. I can see the whole schedule, but I was poking around and there's so many things. And I was like, not VR, not VR, not VR, not VR. Now, I got to get back to work. So I really haven't looked through the schedule. Okay. Keegan Chester, do you recommend the Quest 2? Here we go. Look at me. Read my lips. Because if there's been some controversy on my channel recently. I do. I absolutely do. There's some caveats to that statement, but I do. It is your biggest bang for your buck. If you don't have a PC, it's really your only option right now. And it is a good VR experience. Okay? So, yes, I do recommend it. And actually, because of me, 2 of my nephews actually got one for Christmas. Now, at the same time, if you have any issues with the company Facebook, or you're against having a Facebook account, that's one reason to just, you personally. If you have something against Facebook, this headset isn't for you because Facebook is embedded into the headset. If you're looking for like a really high-end PC VR experience, you just want to play PC VR games, you've maybe played VR before and you would just want top level. You don't care about mobile, maybe it's not the right headset for you. There's a couple other reasons. Like I said, just know you're going in. You're probably going to spend a little bit more than that $299 price. It's uncomfortable by default, so you're going to want to get a head strap, and some people change the face cushion. There's great third-party options, but most people don't know that. They buy everything from the official store, and then they end up spending like $500 on their headset when you don't have to. So I do recommend it, but, it's not for everybody, for sure. Again, if you've never tried VR, I recommend you, find someone who has it because the games themselves are also quite different. They're very physically engaging. It's not chilling on a couch with a controller and just relaxing at the end of the night. I tend to break a sweat every time I play VR. And if that's not something you're interested in, again, it's not for you. Okay, let's see. Which multiplayer games do you think have the highest player base right now? Okay, when it comes to PC VR, without a doubt, it's Pavlov. Pavlov the other night had 3,000 people playing. If you go check Medal of Honor, which, recently released, they had 75 people playing. Onward had about 175 people. So when it comes to PC VR, it's definitely Pavlov. When you go into Quest 2, it's most like Quest is not giving numbers. Facebook won't give you numbers, but it's almost undoubtedly Population 1. Population 1, if you kind of go in and assess the situation, there's usually a few hundred people on. I was at CES last year, and it makes me so damn sad that I couldn't be there in person. You know what? So the first show I ever went to was last February. I went to PAX East, and it blew my mind. And that day, I said, I'm going to every single show from now on. I was lucky enough to get a press pass for PAX East, and I loved every second of it. And I was ready to go to PAX West, to fly out to California. I was ready to go to OC7, and February was the last anything. PAX East was the last show, and it's been almost a year now, and everything has been closed since. Now, I'm hoping PAX East is open this year. They've moved it to June. I'm hoping America gets 200 million doses of the vaccine out by then, and life is almost back to normal, and then we could go have fun at PAX East. But I don't know. I'm iffy on still. Let's see. Those shows are amazing. I mean, CES is more technology, which would blow my mind. But PAX East, I'm in my element because it's video games, and everyone there is a gamer. So it's like, you know, like, and I just stopping and talking to people, and I was putting a camera in people's faces. And by the way, my buddy Alex VR popped in, and I didn't acknowledge him. So what's up, Alex? Another channel you guys should check out. Go check out the Between Technical Difficulties podcast. Just busting chops. The Between Realities podcast. It's an awesome show. They have the most amazing guests, honestly. I've been on there, so you know it's true. I'm such a jerk. No, but honestly, they have great guests. It's always a blast to check them out, and they're a great dynamic duo, Alex VR and Skiba. So go check out those guys. Okay, maybe wireless is the only reason to want a Quest. If, like me, you don't care about wireless, don't buy a Quest. Wireless in general is pretty awesome. I know some people try to make their point. Like, they're just like, it's wireless, end of story. And I've had 9 different headsets now, and I went from a wireless Vive Pro to an Index, and I would never go back because the Index is so much more comfortable, sounds better, the mic is better, I can wear it for hours at a time, and I don't mind the cable. Like, I'm old, which I mention every once in a while on this channel, so I'm not going to be sitting there doing 360s. You know, I'll do this a bit and snap turn the rest. So for the most part, in most games, the cable doesn't bother me. Some games, like tower defense games, Ginny and Thaco, that one wrecked me. I was tangling the cord like nonstop. But most games I'm okay with. What do you think about Dash Dash World's replayability? I'll be honest, I only put probably 8 or so hours into Dash Dash World because I'm so busy. So I can't really say too much to that. I can tell you that if you redeem the code Mateo311, you get a fantastic sounding horn in the game. That's right, my voice is in the game. So go redeem that. I should have a code. If you're interested, you can message me later. Twitter, whatever, Discord. And I have a code for a cockpit too. Let's see. Thank you for following. Always appreciate it. So, is Linus from Linus Tech TV evil? Good channel, but there's something off about him. Like his face is missing some texture. I think he just has a baby face, man. Linus is awesome. I personally love Linus. Let's see. FOV, comfort, refresh rate. Yeah, I mean, it depends what you value. But for me, being a grumpy old man, comfort comes first. If I'm not comfortable in VR, I'm not playing. End of story. So comfort comes first. And then visual quality, probably because my eyesight's on the go, so I need the graphics as best as they can be, otherwise things look blurry. I don't know. But yeah, those are pretty high up for me. Gunny, what's going on, man? Snap turning is the teleport of turning. Shut up. Smooth turning still makes me mildly nauseous. Not like nauseous like I'm going to throw up, but every time like I hit it, I'm like, and I don't feel like adapting. I don't feel like, you know, teaching myself. Well, Chris, I will agree with you. Body turning is definitely the best way to go. However, when you're playing a fast-paced game, I want to turn around faster than I physically want to turn around in real life. So I'm going to go snap, snap, and I've turned around. I've now turned around. So when I'm looking corridors and stuff, I'll do this. But if I hear someone behind me, I'm going to just flick the controller twice, and I'm going to turn around. It's faster. For me, it's more efficient. Let's see. All right. Laughs in RTX 39. What are we laughing at? What did I miss? Okay, I can't seem to reduce the light bleed coming into my valve index. Need a nose pad or something. Okay, check out StudioForm. Let me see. I don't know if they have one, but I know StudioForm makes accessories. Let's see, StudioForm.com. That's old. No, it's not StudioForm. What is it? Let me Google it. StudioForm. What's their channel? It is StudioFormCreative.com. Let me drop a link. Spoiler, if you use code Mateo311, you get a discount. I've spoken to the guy who makes these products, and he's really nice. But I don't know if they have anything for light bleed here. You know, they have some counterweights and adjustable straps and stuff like that. We'd have to look to see if they have anything for light bleed. But personally, I don't have any light bleed on my index. I have a lot of light bleed on my original Quest. But then again, when I use something that's like that covers my nose, it bothers me. I'm a pain in the ass. Let's see. I have like 15 by 15 play space. So you physically walk through the doors and stuff. I mean, that's definitely pretty awesome. So the one thing about it is, you know, like when I'm playing competitively, I'm just more about efficiency. Like I don't want to miss a shot because I'm getting physically tired. And I know you youngsters out there playing might not have that issue. But if I'm constantly ducking, peeking corners, and walking laps around my room, I'm going to tire out. Sorry. It's just life. But my place is 12 by 22. The cable doesn't reach 22 feet, but it's 12 by 22. And I will say that when you're in an immersive game, having the ability to just walk around is fantastic. How do people record VR games without looking so zoomed in? Well, there's a couple different ways you can record your VR game. You can load up, you know, in Steam VR, you could mirror your gameplay. So people are seeing what you are seeing in the lens, but it is cropped to your screen resolution. So that usually works out pretty decent. You could also adjust it. You could do just right eye, just left eye, or a blending of the eyes. So that's one way. If you're using OBS, there's a plugin. There's a Open VR plugin, which does the same thing of capturing that output directly from Steam VR, but you don't need to, you know, set up OBS. It's a plugin for OBS. Just makes it easier. Then you could do screen capture, which, depending on your screen, can be a headache. Yeah, continuous turning made me feel weird when I first tried, and that's usually the case with even that's usually the case with just free locomotion in general. The second you touch that controller, you're like, what? But yeah, honestly, I don't know. I'm happy the way I'm playing, and I don't feel like adjusting. Started the RMA process for index controllers for the third time. Strong, constant haptics always break tracking. Literally every controller. There's got to, you've messaged me on Discord about this. There's got to be something else at play on your machine. Like if your controller is just going burr constantly and then tracking fails, something's wrong along the line of your computer. Especially if you've changed the controllers 3 times. Something's wrong. Let's see what's going on, guys. BMac, I had 2 indexes, one I purchased for a friend, but I returned both sets of controllers over time, and they did an advanced RMA both times for me. The second time I didn't even ask, so they should do it for you. T of God is pretty wild. So I played T4 God. I played T for God with my Wireless 5 Pro, which made it amazing because at the time it ran like absolute duty on a Quest and looked terrible. So if you played it on PCVR with the Vive Pro, it looked much better. And then you were wireless, I had the wireless adapter. So I was like running circles in my room like a madman playing that game, which is pretty cool. Let's see. So just a little tip for if you are going to use Shadowplay to record your gameplay. I recommend you get FPS VR for a multitude of reasons. But one super simple reason is you can open up FPS VR and you can click the button for Shadowplay. And your Shadowplay will start recording right in game. Just makes life super simple. And there's other ways to do it. But FPS VR has just so many benefits. Do you still recommend the Valve Index despite known hardware reliability issues? So Dan, personally I do. I've been using my Valve Index for over 1,000 hours of gameplay. When my thumbstick started to drift, I contacted Valve and they sent me a new one before I even sent mine back. So how can I complain? The second controller, it's been another few hundred hours, hasn't started to drift. So I mean, how can I complain? There was definitely some, defects somewhere. The first product run was definitely not right. The thumbstick, there was some issue. It seems that they've improved. I'm not going to say it's resolved, but I mean, it's like the same thing with the Elite strap. There's a ton of people out there saying, no, the Elite strap's total garbage. It snaps, it snaps, it snaps. There's an issue somewhere, but I torture tested mine and couldn't get it to snap. I mean, I put it on my head and just kept cranking and cranking and cranking until like my head was hurting. And I'm like, the mechanism's gonna break. And then without even thinking, I ripped it off my head. And I was like, oh my God, like when I felt the tension, I was like, this thing's about to snap, and nothing. So why it snaps for some people and not others, I don't know if it's the shape of your head. I don't know if it's, like the way it fits on your head, or if there was a manufacturing defect from a certain plant or whatever, or a certain batch. But again, I think the Elite strap is a good product. Facebook compensates people whose strap cracks. So yeah. And personally, I love my Index. It's my favorite headset. So, I mean, look at, Hawk said too, he was out of warranty on his Index, but they still replaced his base station. So, I mean, yeah. And they've, honestly, I've worked with Facebook, I've worked with HTC, and I've worked with Index for RMAs. And by far, Valve was the best. Hands down. Hands down. Yeah, well, but have you seen Eric play? I know he's replaced like 7 controllers, but Eric plays like this. Die, controller! Die! He feels like he needs to get some extra reps in while he's playing. So he's doing thumb presses on his controller. No, Eric's a good dude. Obviously, I'm being overly dramatic and fooling around, but Eric plays a ton, and he is quite aggressive at times. So who knows? All right, what's going on? I had a little internet hiccup there for a second. Just watching my statistics, I had a little internet hiccup. But anyway, let's see. So thumbstick drift isn't only Valve Index. It really comes down to just the way you guys, handle your controllers. I don't know. Do you suffer from strap crack? No, I got no crack kills, but not for me. Do you know any more information on the HTC headsets? And what are your thoughts on the haptic gloves? So the haptic gloves looked freaking wild. They looked freaking wild, but they're not consumer products. If we're talking about the same one, the silver ones, they're not consumer products. I think they're priced at like $5,000. But if you can eventually, get that product cheaper, get them down to whatever, affordable, or, make a consumer-friendly version, that would be pretty amazing. Like, honestly, right now, if you were Elon Musk, if you were the wealthiest man in the world, and you said, listen, I want minds to be blown with VR technology, there's that one headset out there that's unbelievable, that has the 2 LCD panels. I don't remember the name of it. I know Ty covered it. But it has the 2 LCD panels. The one is like a a micro LCD right in the middle that's super high density. And then the outer panels, the low res panels, are what the HP Reverb uses. The minimum specs on that thing is RTX 3080. Then you had some of these gloves and like the bHaptic suit. You are totally in the realm of Ready Player One. So that would be some wild stuff. But obviously, you know, we just hope they happen at some time. Let's see. Would have been great if that torture test was on video and could have been made part. Yeah, you know what? I considered it, but for whatever reason, I just didn't. I didn't do it on video because like I just kind of like it was like spur of the moment type thing. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna pick this up. I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna see what happens. If you don't want to take my word for it, that's cool. That's cool. I know Eric did a torture test in a video. Thumbstick drift is the index's Achilles heel, you know. Again, though, honestly, if you're concerned, if you're scared, if you see any drift in less than a year, contact Valve and say my controller's drifting. And they'll send you a new one. I mean, that's the whole thing. At this point now, if you bought an index now, I think, well, if you bought an index now, you obviously want it to last much longer. You know, $1,000, you want your product to last. But I'm really hoping we get some updated hardware within a year. I would kill for an index too. Let's see. I broke the entire faceplate off my right Valve index controller playing Blade and Sorcery. Now, see, this is one thing that I don't get. People are breaking hardware left and right. I have put my elbow through that door playing Swords of Gura. I have punched this wall. It was only 2 weeks ago. I full force just wailed right on that corner, right there. Full force playing. I'll show you guys. I'll show you. I'll give you a demonstration. You know I like to give demos. All right, here comes the demo. I was playing Thrill of the Fight, but from a previous video, I turned off my Guardian and forgot to turn it back on. So I'm playing Thrill of the Fight and full force. I came like up to here and went, bam! And I proceeded to scream, "Where the F is my Guardian?" I proceeded to scream, "Where the F is my Guardian?" for the next 2 minutes. And my whole knuckle was purple. I think it's normal now. You can't see anything. But my whole like hand and knuckle was purple. And because of that, man, I was pissed. But my controllers are fine. I've punched so many things on so many different occasions. Accidentally by adjusting the chaperone and forgetting to turn them back. And my controllers, I've scratched them. I've scratched the controllers, but they're fine. So I don't know, man. It's just different with certain people. So if you use the index, save yourself some trouble and rebind, toggle sprint to the trackpad or something. That's I wouldn't consider that an issue. It clicks in no problem. I know there's a launch issue, but they also changed the default to if games didn't have that, like if games were not letting you click it in at an extreme angle, it did it by default, and they changed their default bindings. So that's not an issue. I have no trouble running in games. That clicking works. Varo was a different headset. Oh, but yeah, that's it. That's it. The XR3. Okay, Wamby, what's up, man? I'm behind on the chat, guys. I'm really behind. I don't use Vorpex. But you could talk to Paradise Decay. He uses it all the time. Wow, I'm really behind on chat, guys. Thrill of the Wall. That's right. How long ago was the corner punch incident? 2 weeks ago. It was actually a week and a half. It was last Monday. You could check my Twitter. I posted. I actually wasn't playing Thrill of the Fight. I was playing Creed Rise to Glory. And I punched the wall really hard. And after that, I decided that Creed Rise to Glory is cursed, and I will only play Thrill of the Fight. How often do you use your pulley system? Not very often anymore. I don't really need it. Guys, I think Steve Knows might be coming soon. Okay, Steve Knows is going to be with us soon, so we're going to be taking a break in a little bit. He'll join us, and we'll start the podcast. I'm watching my internet status, and it's going up and down. That could be an aspect of Restream that's giving us some headaches right now. You guys let me know how the stream's coming in, but I see Restream is probably acting up right now. I should probably just drop it and only stream to YouTube these days. There's only a handful of people who watch me on Twitch. I think I'm going to reserve Twitch for different content and go affiliate. I'm considering that. Well, let me guys know if you're seeing any major issues. I punched my daughter, not while using VR. She was just mouthing off. Inappropriate, Dan. I have 2 little girls, a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. And I'm not going to lie. Every once in a while, you want to hit them. All right. Steve Knows is coming, guys. I'm going to put you guys on hold, and we'll be right back. There he is. What's up, Mr. Steve?
Yeah. Oh, I'm in already. Hello.
There's,
I'm all right.
There's always this 1 second. I actually should have brought us to this screen right here. The MattKnows Podcast. What's going on, guys? What's going on? I got Steve. Here he is. He was struggling with his camera. He broke some stuff. But he's here. He's here, and we got him. What's going on, everybody?
Just finished work again, so it's like a proper finish that.
Yeah. Now you jackrabbit. Try and stay in your seat this time. Okay.
Yeah, I do jackrabbit. So
I know
maybe
you
it's
like to
fine.
move around. I'm gonna shift you to the right a little bit because you're a little crazy there. I have so many things queued up in this scene for us to go over that it's just like, where is Steve's camera? There it is. Let's move him a little bit. There you go. I moved you
Sorry,
over.
I just need to. Let me just meditate. in
All
the
right,
chair.
meditate. You get in the mood. All right. Soul Fox, what's going on, man? Welcome to the channel, guys. Another awesome YouTuber has entered the arena. Go check out Soul Fox. He is an awesome dude. I keep trying to join him for Rec Room, but he streams Rec Room when I'm going to pick up my kids from school. So
Always bad timing.
So I got daddy problems. So anyway, Steve, what's going on? We actually have an agenda today.
Oh yeah. It was very off the cuff last time, wasn't it? Very last minute.
I mean, it's usually off the cuff. Some people actually believed when I said, "Oh, I lied to Steve. I told him just call me on Discord," and then I pulled him into the podcast. Some people actually believe that. Like some people message me like, "Oh, good trick. Do it to Steve more often." And I was like, "No, man, it was planned. It was planned."
You knew, yeah, it wasn't like a plan. Like the setup wasn't planned, but like to call you was planned. Yeah.
Yeah. But and then some people were really curious why my character had blonde hair and a blonde beard.
But it finally made sense.
Now
Like,
it makes sense. Now it makes sense. So
and it's not Matt in his Iron Man suit. It's Matt in his
Mass Effect. Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Don't get it wrong. I was trying to think. I was like, what did he say? What suit did he say? Obviously, Iron Man would work, but I'm a dope.
Listen, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Soul Fox. I got daddy issues. So, Steve, happy to have you on here for episode 2.
You.
Guys,
For the Hawk.
guys,
you asked the question.
if you are
about
not familiar with Steve Knows' channel, just go follow him right now. Steve Knows is freaking awesome. He's my new best friend on the internet. He's my new internet best friend. But you would qualify as a real life best friend.
Yeah. You'd invite me to a football game or Thanksgiving.
Yeah, a footy game. Yeah,
Kind of.
got
Thanks,
it.
Matt.
Those American things. Yeah.
I'm a programmer by day. YouTuber by night.
Nice.
Legend
Nice.
by life.
And I know someone asked me earlier too, so I'm what do I even do these days, Steve? I'm a
I don't know, Matt. I don't actually know what you do.
Windows system administrator is what I used to be. Then I was an SRE manager. I don't know. I do computers. Ask my kid. I do computers.
That's it. Yeah, that's
what I do.
we're in the same boat there. We do computers.
We do computers. Yeah, but couple things so that I wanted to go over. We got topics. We got topics.
We've got hot topics.
Hot topics.
It's a bit of a crazy week this week.
Yeah, I mean,
and I need to get caught up on it all.
I mean, it's always a crazy week. But first thing I want to discuss, Mr. Steve. Some people were shocked by my Quest 2 video. I know we discussed it last stream. I told you what I was going to be making a video on the Quest 2. Like, it was like top 5 reasons why you shouldn't get a Quest 2.
Oh, yeah.
So in hindsight, if I make videos like this, I would obviously do them. I'd probably do the pros and cons in one video, so I don't come off like I'm picking on the Quest or like I don't feel like because people will be like, oh, you're an Index fanboy or whatever, just because you said something against the Quest. So in hindsight, I would do those videos differently. But I actually am doing the opposite. The top 5 reasons why the Oculus Quest is the best option for VR right now.
Is it? You're sure I need to redeem myself?
It's not a redemption video. It's kind of me reacting to the thought process of viewers. I feel like everything I said in that video is true. I feel like right now there's a whole ton of people who just got the Quest 2 for Christmas. They're in the honeymoon phase and they're going around and they're like, you random man on the street, you gotta get a Quest 2. It's amazing. Mom, get a Quest 2. Dad, cousin, uncle, everyone get a Quest 2. And some people are like, I'll get a Quest 2. It must be amazing.
Yeah.
So like
my family's like that. My whole family's got Quest 2s this Christmas.
So I feel like a lot of people are still in the honeymoon phase. And some people might be going in completely blind. They know nothing about VR, and it just might not be right for them for a couple of reasons I laid out. But it might not be right for them. So basically, I don't want people to just get a Quest 2 and then 3 months later they're like, I don't like this thing anymore. It collects dust, and then you have a whole new group of people who are like, VR's a gimmick. Like that, I would hate to see that.
You hear that a lot.
That's what I would hate to see. VR is not for everybody. I'm a VR enthusiast. I absolutely love it. But I don't think it's for everybody, and I wouldn't push it on people. I just want to provide information. That's my goal.
I think VR is for everybody, but the people that don't like it or agree, I think it probably just haven't found their niche within VR.
They're dead inside.
Yes, there's something. I don't know, like, because just VR is kind of, it's replicating like life.
Well, see, like
in over the top ways. So, like, how can it not appeal to you? You probably just haven't found something in VR that is your thing. That's
well, I mean, to give you an example, like my wife has like no interest in video games. You can give her a video game every once in a while, and she'll be like, "Oh, this is a lot of fun," and then the second she shuts that game off, she will never think about playing it ever again.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. When they're in it, this is amazing. Wow, blowing my mind. As soon as it's off, yeah, not thinking about it again.
So it's not for everybody. Just like traditional flat screen gaming isn't for everybody, but whatever the case is. But that let's not spend any time on that. Let's talk about awesome games. Steve. So
they're awesome.
So all right, this week we got a big update for Pavlov. So I'll put that up on screen.
Okay. Yes.
So I started playing some Pavlov 3, the World War II update. Of course, I had to take the opportunity to to put in a dig against Medal of Honor.
Because this round, okay. It looks great.
Pavlov is one of those games. First and foremost, the best thing is it runs fantastic. It runs super smooth, and the gameplay is great. But it's got amazing mods, and there's a reason why. By the way, that's the best shot ever. When you see the clip. But I mean, it's got amazing mods, and there's a reason why. Friday night when I played, there was 3,000 people online. There's 3,000 people playing. All right, so I mean, there's a reason for that. Steve, I'm pretty sure you didn't get to try it yet, did you?
Tanks?
Yes, the new Pavlov update.
No, I've not tried it.
Now you're a little bit more Quest 2 heavy, I assume.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely more Quest 2 heavy. Even though I bought a computer for it, for VR, more Quest 2 heavy. It's just convenient. And it puts me off paying PC VR because of just how long it takes to set up and play.
That's why you have to invest in a man cave and just have everything ready to go. You just gotta have everything ready to go, and just, that's it. No, I know what you're saying. Convenience is pretty big. It's pretty big at getting people to decide if they want to play. But Pavlov has tanks now. They're a lot of fun. And the World War II weapons are pretty awesome. It's still a little janky, but overall it's great. Now
it looks so good. What a great game mode to stick in a already brilliant FPS.
Now I did reach out to Dave Zills, the developer, because I know a lot of people are going to ask about the Quest 2 version. It's not.
Yeah, that was immediately my thoughts as well.
It's not coming to Quest 2 anytime soon. His words. But he did say that very soon they're getting mods and custom lobbies for the Quest.
Can we get it on the Quest first? Stop adding stuff to it.
No.
Fix what's already there, please, so we can get it on the official store.
But I know. Get the game. But see, if you remember the history with Pavlov
drama.
Yeah, there was a little bit of drama there. So I don't know if it's eventually going to, until it's official release, because technically Pavlov is still early access on Steam.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been there since I can remember.
Yeah. Now, speaking of since you can remember, did you play the original Doom 3?
Oh, of course I did. I've been a Doom fan since I was too young when it first came out, but ever since I first played it, I played Doom 3, not just the VR version. So
obviously that's another something awesome that came out. Doom 3 is now playable on the Oculus Quest via, you can install it via side quest. It's a mod for the original game, so technically you do need to own the PC version of the game, but you can get it from Steam for $5. You copy some stuff onto your Quest, and now you have this amazing, this amazing game from 2004. And I will argue it's better than the games coming out for Quest right now.
Yeah, no, I often think this about the work that Bumser and Dr. Beef are doing with Half-Life Alyx and Wolfenstein, and this, because they're taking games that people already love, they're great, and then turning them into VR games, which I love when they do in general anyway, such as Resident Evil and Star Wars. It seems to be they have a bigger success. But yeah, I've got to agree. But Doom 3 is less kind of Doom for those that the retro lovers of Doom. It's the least Doom.
So I mean, Doom 1 and 2 go back to me being a little kid. They're sometime in the 90s. I can't remember for sure, but they released during the 90s. I remember when I got Doom 2, I went to load it, and I think it said you need something like 16 megabytes of RAM. And I stopped and I was like, who the hell has 16 megabytes of RAM? And so I mean,
showing your age, Matt.
When Doom 3 came out, it actually disappointed a lot of people, but over time it improved, and it is a solid experience. But when you're going to compare it to like games they're releasing now, I mean, yes, you can see the age in the product, but at the end of the day, it's a better game. Like, it's crazy. And what does that say about VR development right now?
It's not getting any love, I think is what it comes down to. They're stuck in a hard place, right? They've got a small audience that have been there from the very beginning for 2016, the VR veterans, we call it.
Yep.
But it's still in its infancy and has an audience that's growing fast, but you could consider new. And you've got to cater for both those audiences, and it's a tough one to balance, I think.
I mean, obviously, we've seen it grow. It's come a long way. If you were in this game, at 2016, it was just like, where's the next game? Like, okay, I've played 20 wave shooters. Give me a game. Like, it was pretty rough in 2016, all the way to like 2018. So yeah, I understand the money's not there to put in one of these full budget titles. But I mean, if you play Doom 3, which I'm a few hours into it on my Quest, you see the age, you see the animations are kind of some crappy, and the game obviously needs better textures. But overall, I would argue it's better than Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, and it's better than Warhammer 40k Battle Sister. And I enjoyed Battle Sister, but it's mediocre.
I think people need to change their tactics. Start porting more, or reimagining, giving us the games that we know and love, or perhaps haven't played in a very long time.
I mean, there is a market there because obviously the people getting the Quest now, they're younger. They're 13 to 20 is fairly common, and they haven't experienced these games. Maybe that's the angle you want to take. Official remakes for VR.
I'd be very happy with that, because the gameplay's not the same, is it? When you're actually physically embodying a character, it feels like a completely different game and experience. So I'd be up for that.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that just makes me think, we're not getting, the Half-Life Alyxes. We're not getting the, even we threw a AAA developer at it, Respawn, my opinion on Medal of Honor. It's rough. But speaking of remakes, we got Hitman 3.
Yeah. That's like a week away as well now.
Yep, January 20th. Yeah, 1 week away.
It's just such a shame that it's on PlayStation.
So I will say that I have one drop of good news. My PlayStation adapter for VR just came.
Oh, it came. It just been sat in the drawer waiting for something good to play. So yeah, great news.
My VR is not hooked up right now because I hooked up my PlayStation 5, and I'm like, well, I can't hook up VR because I didn't have the adapter yet. So it's just in a box somewhere right now. Well, actually, it's on display in the background, but the components, the breakout box are in a box somewhere. So yeah, we have that to deal with. But I don't know. I personally never played through the Hitman series.
What?
Yes. Yes.
What?
Yes, I know. So there's a couple series. There's a couple game series that, especially Hitman wasn't exclusive to PlayStation historically, was it?
I played on PC.
Well, there you go. So it's not exclusive. There were just like a couple genres that I can never get into. I'm not a stealth guy. Okay? When it says this mission is stealth optional, I'm taking out the rocket launcher.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely a run and gun player with you as well. Don't stealth.
And like certain stealth games just really get under my skin. I just want to progress. And when I spent like 10 minutes going in a circle hiding from someone, I just lose my patience. Like VR is my escape. VR is my escape. I want to feel like a badass. Just make me feel like a badass.
It is such a good form of escapism.
Yeah. Now,
it's so good.
Now, one thing I will comment on this game that, we know there's no move controller support.
Yeah.
However, if you look at these clips, you would be like, wait a second. It's a little, it looks like it's tracking the hand sometimes. Now, I heard they're using a hybrid tracking technique. The game is controlled by your dual stick, your typical PlayStation controller. However, they are doing some tracking on the controller for hand-based tracking.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I got you. So it tracks the light on the DualSense controller, but you also use the remote to move and press buttons to do certain moves.
Yes.
You can see only the right hand seems to be tracked.
Yes.
You don't. It's not dual.
Yes.
Yeah, I did notice that.
So every once in a while, so you can take that your DualShock controller and kind of, do this or, do this, if you want to shoot like a gangster. You could do all that and it will track it, which I think is pretty cool. It definitely ups the immersion level. The PlayStation VR isn't known for its super high immersion level. You can't turn around. Tracking's not fantastic. But I think this is a good blend.
I'm really interested to go back to it because I haven't touched it in so long. I've just been playing Quest and the Quest 2 and these new headsets with such great resolution. Yeah. It's just going to be so bad.
Well, here's the thing. I got into PlayStation VR for Iron Man. That's how late in the game I got in.
Sweet game. What? Really? You didn't have that? I'm actually quite shocked at that.
I'll tell you exactly why. I already owned like 4 VR headsets at the time. They're all higher spec than the PlayStation VR, and I was convinced it was just going to be such a poor, low-resolution experience. The first time I ever tried a PlayStation VR was last February at PAX East. I played Sniper Elite on PlayStation VR.
Oh, yeah, that one, yeah, another one.
And it didn't look great. It really didn't. I was like, God, the PlayStation is just, the screen is terrible. But Iron Man impressed me. Surprisingly, they do an amazing job hiding the screen door effect with their panel, but it has more of the, the Mora effect. The black level between pixels is terrible.
Oh, yes.
So when you fade to black, it's like you see like green specks all over. And when you're playing a game like Iron Man VR, where it fades to black for a minute at a time in between loading screens originally.
The loading time for PSVR, yeah, it's so long.
Yeah. All right, let's see what we got. All right, so there's a little bit something else that we should talk about. Grapple Tournament. We're in a tournament this weekend.
Yeah, I've been a terrible team player with this, with the Grapple Tournament.
Why would you say you're a terrible team player?
I haven't. I only just downloaded it today. I haven't been practicing. I really should.
So I'm currently showing their little Christmas update they did. It was the newest footage I had, but they did a little Christmas theme update, but it shows off the game in general quite well. So I played it pre-release, and then I just fired it up again recently, but this game is absolutely fantastic, Steve.
It looks fantastic, and after playing I was really pumped to play a game like that with multiplayer.
Yes. Steve says you know what. Me and Steve are we're probably going to be covering an upcoming game within the next few months. And we're really excited about it, but we're not allowed to talk about it yet.
Yeah, you know what? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
But some people have caught on. Someone was in the chat earlier who knew exactly what we we're talking about. But anyway, so Grapple Tournament, if you are a fan of the original Unreal Tournament, this game is completely inspired by that. The cell shading graphics look fantastic and run great in VR, and it is just a fast-paced arena shooter. It's a lot of fun, and grappling hook. It's just, there's so much attention to detail. This game does not get the credit it deserves. And this Saturday, a million of us.
It's Sunday, isn't it? Don't say Saturday.
Saturday.
It's
Sunday? Is it Sunday? Shit. What day is the 17th? Shit, it's Sunday. All right.
Is it Sunday?
Damn, I'm going to get in trouble with the wife. I've been saying Saturday. Sunday. So this Sunday, jeez, man. This Sunday, we're going to be playing 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe. And it should be freaking awesome.
There's a great bunch of guys playing, isn't there?
There's like 18 YouTubers involved in the tournament. Yeah.
Good guy. Good.
Why don't you guys get into a Solaris tournament? That game's still alive? I don't want to be a jerk.
I did play that game a few days ago just to see what,
I personally loved Solaris. I loved it.
It's not bad.
But then after like 3 weeks and I waited 5 minutes for a match.
Yeah. It's very unfortunate. They had to go up against Pop 1 after a janky launch.
They had to go after Pop. Yep. They had some weird things missing in launch. Like you had alien hand syndrome left hand. So your left hand just does whatever it wants, which was really frustrating. It's just, I don't know. That was so intrusive in VR to just watch this left hand just go off on its own. It had one game mode, only a few maps, and then the player base started to die out. So yeah, it was rough. But Solaris, I don't know. I liked it. But again, there's a better free option. I would say Hyperdash is better.
Oh, I love Hyperdash so much. I remember when we first played it and we had a massive hype for ages. Me, you, and Alex.
You were giggling at me because I go all America in game.
Yeah. You go full America in game.
Yeah.
I love Hyperdash.
So Grapple Tournament, guys, there is a tournament this Sunday. I'm sure some people will be streaming it. There'll be footage. I'm just going in to enjoy the game. I'm not capturing footage. I'm not doing anything. I'm just just there for the ride. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna have fun, and I'm gonna get to kill a couple of my friends, like Grumpy Duck.
Just fun. So I'm looking forward to just being able to just play a game and enjoy myself. I'm trying to find out who's actually in it.
So we got, off the top of my head, me, Steve Knows, Eric for President, Grumpy Duck VR, Soul Fox Gaming, Gamertag, Paradise Decay, V-Bunny.
You were on it.
There's some people in the tournament that I'm not personally friends with, so these are the people I'm forgetting. Okay, I got that many. Oh, obviously Skiva and Alex VR, Skiva. So Skiva arranged the tournament, so I'm a big jerk there. So I got 10 of the people. And the game, the game does have a free demo. So if, after we hype this up like crazy, go check out the free demo. If
it's free demo, might as well.
The game is on PC VR, it's coming to Quest eventually. You like that time? Eventually.
I think that's like the way to VR success these days. It is really kind of worrying, isn't it?
So
is it on Quest?
So
is it coming to Quest?
So yeah, and I'll say my gripes about that. We know Facebook is like the only player in the game when it comes to standalone VR right now. And we don't want a monopoly. We don't want Facebook to be in control because they will have no objections with pushing the rest of the market out. I mean, they do not. I mean, we know, and they'll buy out any competition. So we don't. I mean, we want competition. It's in our best interest. So I really don't want to see that. And at the same time, developers won't talk about it. Well, most won't. But a lot of them don't like working with Facebook. They don't like working with Facebook. It's like a deal with the devil. It obviously helps their product so much, but a lot of them, run into serious issues, and they can't talk about it. because of their contracts. There's non-disparity clauses. So they're not going to be allowed to say like, oh, working with Facebook was hell. But they will say, look at our game sales since we put our game on the Quest. So hopefully that changes one day. Hopefully, some slave labor based Chinese company produces a super cheap headset for us. That,
but you can't. The American culture of the Chinese.
I'm joking. I'm completely joking. Obviously a China-based company is a good alternative to combat.
They're going to be tracking less than Facebook, though, aren't they? I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, well, they'll probably be tracking about as much, about the same. I mean, it's hard. We joke. It's a really terrible environment out there, and not something I could joke about because, Apple got in a lot of trouble recently because their supply chain has a lot of connections to slave labor. So even Apple got in a bunch of trouble lately. So yeah, I mean, I joke like that, but it's the only way you're gonna get that price. Because remember, Facebook is subsidizing the price of the headset by the profit they're gonna make in data collection.
Yeah.
But hopefully there's a competitor. Hopefully. So, I mean, that goes into some CES talk, my man.
Oh, the big event of the year. The ones to get excited about because there's always so much VR tech at these events.
That's right. Hype it up, man. So I'll discuss, what's on screen and a couple other things going on. I know we both recently discussed the headset from Movision Tech. I believe you covered that this week.
Yes. Okay. It's the dual LCD high res, basically another Quest. It looks like a Quest 1 with high res.
Yes. I got two of my Chinese friends to actually translate that image. It was pretty straightforward. We knew what those numbers and specs meant.
We could just guess, based off the numbers, you can see what they're trying to say.
They confused me even more. So the tracking range for the controllers is 200 degrees. But the way they translated it confused the hell out of me, and I didn't know what the hell it was talking about. It said like vision with handle 200, and I'm like, what? But so obviously thinking about it for a little bit. I was talking to Ty about it, and he's like, oh yeah, that's the tracking angle. I'm like, I'm an idiot. That's obviously the tracking angle. But
I got that right.
But what's called? So Movision Tech, obviously Chinese company, Quest competitor, but it's an ODM design, which means anyone could take this, rebrand it, spray paint it red for, if that's your color theme for your company, put a Nike logo on it, whatever you need to do. And
yeah, that's what I did. I put a Nike logo.
Put a Nike logo on it, and that's that. So we might have additional players in the game soon. What do you think?
Yeah.
You think that's the case?
I don't think they'd compete still. ODM is probably not the way to go to compete.
Well, if it's produced in China with that super efficient slave labor, I gotta stop saying it. It's so.
Yes, I know. I hear you say it. I'm like, oh damn, but it's true, isn't it? It is kind of fact, but it's like that.
It's the world we live in. It's so sad. And you want to take a stand at some point, and then where do you draw the line? Is it data collection? Is it spying? Is it social media platforms being used to manipulate people to make certain decisions? Or you just don't care and you're like, this piece of technology is cool. Shut up and leave me alone.
I think with the latter.
You don't want to be guilty for anything. It's like, Jesus, this bottle's made out of plastic. I'm probably gonna kill a dolphin. You can't live in this world anymore. But we do have some other cool tech coming out. So right now what we're seeing, this is from the company C-Real. So C-Real isn't working on making a headset. They have prototype headsets and AR units. That's the AR unit on screen right now. But they're not trying to make a new headset. They're trying to perfect a light field technology. And light field has the potential to make VR screens that much more immersive and that much better. Currently, all the VR out there right now just works on one aspect of human eyesight, which is convergence, which is there's two panels or one panel with a split image. This eye gets one image, the eye gets another image. And that gives you, stereoscopic vision and you get depth. That's one aspect of how our vision works right now, but there's another really important aspect, which is a variable focal length. So when you look at something in the distance, your eye hones in on that aspect. And
it's a big problem with VR at the moment, what you're talking about.
Yes, and your eye focuses on that aspect, increases the visual clarity, and things around it blur out. Now, the benefits of that in a VR environment is one, performance. You don't have to high resolution display everything, only what you're focusing on. Two, when you combine convergence with this variable focal length, the experience is that much more real. And the light field technology is capable of doing this. I know Facebook is experimenting with this. They have their prototype, the Half Dome prototype, which has variable length focal points. To my understanding, the light field is any focal length. So it doesn't matter where the position is, you should be able to focus in. As far as how the technology works, I haven't really dove into it and don't have a full understanding. But it seems like, this might be a cool technology for the future, that it's really gonna, increase what we experience in VR.
You've piqued my interest, because I've not really been reading up on these.
Yeah, so
a bit in preparation for the weekend. I definitely will be. I'm curious to how this will work.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, they're showing off examples right now of like fixed foveated rendering, where everything in the center is higher resolution, but that's not what you want. You want higher resolution where you're looking. I mean, that's the key right there. And they're saying potential VR headset late 2022. Womp womp. But it is intriguing technology.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm becoming always skeptical about these products now, because they always sound like they've got the bells and whistles and they're going to be the next best thing, but then they always come out and just the basic fundamentals of the headset are just not right.
Well,
and they flop.
So again, they're trying to perfect the technology and not make a headset. They will make a headset as proof of concept, but again, they're trying to perfect the technology. Here's in general, when it comes to technology, the people who are on the bleeding edge, or the high performance and the enthusiast edge, we're always looking ahead, like, oh, this new technology is it's going to be amazing. But we live the evolution. So we're rarely blown away. Like, if we went back 20 years and gave someone a Quest 2, their head would melt.
yeah, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, their head would melt.
I love it when you see people giving these VR headsets to like their grandparents and they're just freaking out. Yeah, I love those videos.
We're going to have to chill out in the comments section before the ban hammer drops. So I mean, overall, we have to live that evolution. So we're never really blown away. But I always like to look forward because, you see what we might be getting at a certain point in time.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. It's nice to see what's possible. And if they do it well, Facebook love buying other companies.
God. So our buddy PD has... Okay, we're going to have to drop a ban hammer. You know what? I usually don't have to play with little kids.
Jaden!
But I guess today we have to. Normally I honestly barely ever have to moderate this channel or anything like that, but I guess the time comes.
I guess he's just trying to get some.
All right, he's just trying to get some. Well, this is not where you're gonna get it. I mean, you can if you shop on Amazon, you can go to my OnlyFans. Maybe that'll help you out. All right. So that was a cool break. That was fun. Let's see. So, getting back on topic, our buddy PD was mentioning that Deca Gear, they've gone awfully silent.
What did I say last week we were on? And then you were like, well, about the Deca Gear, Stephen. So I'm not hopeful.
So, last time I spoke to them, they're like, oh, we should be able to send you a prototype in January. And I reached out. I'm like, hey, guys, it's January. I'm over here. Just curious if you have any updates. And they just have not responded.
Computer says no.
So I think we're in a scenario of they overpromised, will under-deliver. And if we see the headset, it's not going to come. It's not going to come in that May 2021 date, like they said. But I would love to be proven wrong. Got to add that OnlyFans in the description, man. Steve, see, we're back to the OnlyFans. I told you, they always bring it up. They're always asking about OnlyFans.
They just want it.
They just want you weren't here. They all tell me I'm thick in the beginning.
You're gonna get pictures of VR headsets next to your feet.
Yeah. But we do have a calendar where I'm just covered in VR headsets and nothing else. So the OnlyFans is looking fantastic. It's a joke. Or is it? It's not real.
I hope it is. Please.
I mean, there is a channel, but if you sign up, don't be disappointed when I'm not naked. Even if I was naked, I'm so hairy, it just looks like I'm wearing a fur coat.
It's just actually wearing shorts still.
All right. Some other technologies that I'm actually not fully up to speed on at CES is AR. What is your take on AR? How is it going to impact us?
Yeah, so I think AR is probably, I feel like it's definitely a little behind VR growth, but AR is probably going to overtake it. That's going to be the standard.
So, I mean, I feel like AR is taking its time because they don't want to do what happened with VR, release with the hype train, and then people be like, AR is dead. AR is dead. Like, they want to learn from the mistakes of VR, and they want to have a little bit more powerful initial push. I mean, that's my take on why it's taking its time.
I can't see why people would want to use AR. I see like the uses for it, but I don't see why someone would in your own home be wanting to wear an AR headset unless it was for like TV or media. But outside the home, walking the streets, then having to wear a wearable. And I don't know. I'm just a little confused about where AR.
So I mean, well, personally, I don't know if you saw Razer's new N95 surgical respirator, the mask of the future they made. So just imagine Razer making a mask for the pandemic. Okay. So it's I wish I don't have this queued up. I don't have a video for this, but it's a N95 surgical respirator. It has a microphone inside and speakers, so you could talk through it. It has Razer's typical RGB. It has Razer's typical RGB, and it has like breathing ports. Okay. I'll be honest with you. So it has like breathing ports to make sure that carbon dioxide comes out and that it helps self-cool. And it's waterproof and scratch resistant. It sounds like I'm selling the thing, but
it looks sick.
It looks sick. I'll be honest with you. I would wear that and wearables all the time. Fuck reality. That's how I want to walk around life. I want to have people look at me and either be like, that dude's awesome, or like, what's wrong with that weirdo? And I'm completely fine with that. I would go to the gym with wearables on and this big giant mask. And I'd mod it so I sound like Bane. Okay? That's how I'd live life.
It looks so sick. Thrill's gonna lose his mind. That's like his daily wearables.
Yeah, he probably has 3 right now. He's gonna be the spokesperson for Razer's surgical mask. But it's not available to public, I know. But I mean, like, stuff like that. Like, I'm okay with crazy wearables, and personally, I think it's better than staring at my freaking phone all day long. To have a visual overlay would be pretty cool. CES has been talking about AR for the office place. So like you put
that's a great one.
You put on your glasses and you immediately see a second, third monitor. You know, stuff like that. And the technology they're showing off right now, these micro LCD panels, the pixel density is insane. Is absolutely insane. The issue you really run into when it comes to AR is brightness level and field of view. You know, you're usually talking about a 70-degree field of view. So, you know, like you're seeing like this.
So bad.
compared to what we're used to in VR, that is really blinders. Because I think the Quest and Rift S are pretty tight in the field of view, and they're around 90, 96 degrees. Obviously, it depends how close it is to your eyes. But that's not a very big field of view, and I feel like those are blinders. So when you're dealing with these glasses, the field of view gets really small. But the tech, man, they've shrunk it. They've shrunk it. The quality is great. They're starting to look like it's gonna be, you're gonna have your Fallout style life overlay or whatever you want it to be. Google Maps when you're walking the street with arrows telling you where to go. Live action translation. It looks like all that crazy stuff is gonna be possible. Tech looks like it's getting there.
Yeah, it does definitely intrigue me. I think just because I've used AR in the past and it's been kind of rubbish. I used a HoloLens, and it's like you're looking at two TVs with each eye rather than having the AR surround you.
Yeah.
It was a bit rubbish.
Well, I mean, I think that's why it's been so long and we haven't seen a real commercial product, because they don't want to do the VR route. They don't want people to be they're gimmicky. They want them to be a solid product that they think the average person will use. Like what happened with VR, people had it in their head that this is going to be like the next iPhone. Give it 5 years, and there's going to be a couple 100 million of these things sold.
Well, if Apple release it, maybe.
I don't know. Even then, who knows? But about Apple's VR product development was a nightmare too, and we don't really officially know where that stands right now. It looks like they're heavier on the AR side, because it goes into their ecosystem a little bit better. But I mean, they want to release so there's hype around the product, so that it can eventually get to anyone who wears glasses. Why would you just buy glasses? Get smart glasses.
Oh
stuff
yeah,
that.
No, you're right. Yeah, of course. But that doesn't surely that has its own challenges when you're overlaying someone who has visionary problems.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, there are issues there, but that's the future. Let's talk about some tech that exists right now. Okay. All right. So
I want it all now.
Right now on screen, I have the cybershoes. The Kickstarter for the Quest version of the cybershoes recently ended. They did really good. I know they were over $100,000.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? They did really well.
Now, you own cybershoes.
Yes.
I own cybershoes. What is your opinion on the product?
Has its place. I wouldn't use it for everything. I definitely feel the fact that it's usable on the Quest is a lot more appealing to me, because I don't really do the PC VR stuff anyway. And it seemed to work better on the Quest. I don't know if that was just me, but I felt like it just worked better on the Quest. And I always get people saying, "Oh, you're not running in VR. You're not actually running." But I don't think there are people that have tried it, because if you allow yourself to get immersed and you're on the edge of that seat, and the seat is really just there to then kind of support your bum so you don't fall on the floor. It works well, but the problem I have with it is the ability to strafe. It doesn't exist, and that's something.
So
I just can't.
Yeah. So I mean, I could definitely say, a lot similar about the product. I have mine right here. Whee!
You got it on you.
I'm wearing them. I wear them 24/7.
Yeah, I wear them out.
I skate around my house. No, I'm actually scared to walk in these. I was scared my weight would break them, but if you feel them, they're super durable. You can put your body weight on these, and I doubt they would break.
They're solid. They'd smash a window.
Yeah, oh, definitely. But same thing with the cybershoes. When it comes down to the product, I feel like there's definitely a place for it. One, manufacturing wise, how well it works, I think it's very high quality. The seat is in the background. You guys can't see it right now. It's off screen. But I love the chair more than anything else.
Yeah, that's my office chair. That's my desk chair.
Whenever I play a Quest game that I want to, I play a Quest game, I will sit in that. I played through all of Warhammer 40K Battle Sister in that chair, because it's a swivel chair and it doesn't have any arms, so it doesn't get in the way of you reloading your weapons or anything. So it's made perfectly for playing VR.
And it's not on wheels.
Yeah, it's made perfectly for playing VR in a seated position, and I do use the chair all the time. I actually like the mat too. My only complaint is my floor, the mat will slip, so I can't use it as a VR mat, You put that in the center of your play space, and your brain knows where the floor is.
Yeah, it's good for that as well.
Well, I can't do it here because it slips in this floor. So I wish it had some grips on the bottom, but otherwise it would be a perfect mat for that. If you have carpet, it works great for that. The product itself, the product is not for me. I always complain about VR fatigue. So now if you're going to tell me I have to kick my feet like an idiot, like I have to roller skate in game, it's going to fatigue me even more, even faster. And also I feel a little bit less in control. You don't feel the same level of control you have with just a regular thumbstick.
True.
You can go backwards, forwards, strafe. Sometimes using the cybershoes, you might have a little bit legacy acceleration. Like at the end, you lift your feet, but you still move forward a tiny bit, like stuff like that. Sometimes when you want to go backwards for a split second, you move forward. So I felt a little bit less in control, and like you said, you can't strafe. But if you want to be more immersed, it definitely makes you feel more immersed. And at the same time, if you have motion sickness, it's a good cure for, I wouldn't say cure, but it's a good solution for motion sickness, because physically moving your body gets you into it. So, I think there's a place for it. I wish they would sell the chair and the mat alone. That's my advice to them, because those products are great for VR in general. And when it came to the Quest, you said you used it more on the Quest, but I used it a lot more on PC VR, only because I didn't have a lot of Quest games that were supported.
No. There's not a lot that are supported. I just, I feel like I would use it more on the Quest. Sorry. There's only Arizona, I think, at the moment.
There's definitely Arizona, but I think there's a little bit more than just Arizona. But Swords of Gargantua, which is a game.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Which is a game you wouldn't want to sit down for anyway. It's a sword fighting game. Do I really want to sit down? Maybe.
No.
Maybe. I don't know. I like sitting down. My ass is in a seat, 14 hours a day.
I like sitting down to play Population 1. I'll use that chair. Otherwise, I'll run into the wall.
Well, I did. It's so funny. The second you said that, they showed a clip of someone running into a wall. So it was perfect timing. All right, let's see what else we got on the agenda for today, Mr. Steve. Then, guys, we'll start taking some of your questions before Steve has to go. bHaptics. So bHaptics was on Digital Trend. They listed it as one of the 15 best technologies shown at CES 2021.
Really? Their new X16, X40s?
Yep, the X16, X40. Ooh. So now you have the older model, correct?
Yes, I got the still got the 40 actuators, but it's the older design. Yeah, older model.
And do you have an X40 coming?
Not that I know of.
Okay. No, I was just curious.
I haven't bought one.
Now, I have been I've been told by my buddy Alex VR, who now works with bHaptics, that I have an X40 coming. Obviously, they want to people who pre-ordered get theirs before me, so good for them. But it's probably the most excited I am for a VR accessory. I mean, so
it's a great accessory.
So people were asking earlier, like, oh, does it, do you need a PC for it? And I was like, no, you can connect it directly to the Quest. So it has that native support. And more games are supporting it natively right now. It's actually one of the pieces of technology, like a lot of the VR tech out there right now, you want to kind of categorize as VR with extra steps. It kind of sucks. It's VR with extra steps. Why would you do it? Yes, you can up your immersion a little bit here, or you can, add a feature like motion tracking. But at the end of the day, it's to a point, it's VR with extra steps.
Like the average consumer is not going to be able to set those things up.
Yeah, but I feel like bHaptics is not that case. I feel like this is the type of product that you can use every time you play, as long as the game is supported.
Yeah, it's simple, easy to use.
I mean, how often do you use yours? Be honest.
If I'm playing a game on Quest that supports it, I will whack it on. But I don't play those games too often, unfortunately.
Yeah. Now, I heard the Pop One mod for it right now is awesome. Like, I don't think it's officially supported, but there's a mod you can install to play Population 1, and it's I just heard
And
it's awesome.
Half-Life Alex is supported.
So I heard like you actually feel the wind, you know, when you fly around and stuff. You get little vibrations that let you feel like
I've not tried that. I want native Quest support, please.
you know, get in there and start feeling the wind. So I'm looking forward to it. I will definitely be at some point in the future showing it off for you guys. I am pumped for that. That's the one piece of VR tech that, you know, like I'm like, yeah, no, I'm gonna use it all the time. I'm gonna use it all the time. At least that's how I feel, but we'll see what happens. You know me, I'm grumpy. Now, I do have another piece of VR tech right here that is hit or miss with me also. Have you used any gun stocks?
Yeah. I've got the one sec. This bad boy.
Haptic suit with electrodes, so you can get jacked while playing games. So what do you got over there? What do you got?
It's the
Oh, you got a Pro Tube.
With the recoil
Nice.
on the back. One of these stands if you like sniping people. Yeah, the mag rifle with the force tube for the recoil.
So I had a Pro Tube back in the day when I only had a Vive. And I didn't like first-person shooters in VR back then because I didn't like the Vive had no thumbstick and I didn't like the way it felt. So I didn't really play many first-person shooters back then. And then when I started getting into them, like Pavlov, when I got my index, I was kicking myself and I wanted my Pro Tube back. But I gave it away to someone. So, you know, I hope they're happy with it. You know, I ran a giveaway because if I'm not going to use something, I give it away to the public. There's no sense in hoarding it. Someone might enjoy it more. So
nice of you.
I have a Mammoth gunstock right here. Very similar to the Pro Tube. I actually, you know, I like the design a lot because you can customize this a ton. But again, it's very similar.
Bring it more in shot.
What's that? Oh,
I want to see. I just want to see yours a bit more.
Hold on. Let me get a wider shot here.
Yeah, Kevin, the Pro Tube quality is insane. I think it's like carbon fibre, and these and they got the mag clips, so it's easy just to take them off. If you need to reload, you can just take it off and then whack it back on the stock.
So
it takes practice.
So I mean, they make these so that you can actually out of the box, it'll attach to almost like any headset. It comes with different cups. So that this one's set up for PlayStation underneath. Index underneath. So
how did you get that one confused?
So if you want to do underneath grip, I'm really not in the screen. If you want to do underneath grip, so your controllers, the bottom connects, you can do that. But there's also the option to connect them so the top connects. So you know whatever feels better for you. Again though, like. I'm like, I'm going to use this for Population 1. And Population 1 is not the game for a gun stock. You do not need a gun stock. All you need to do is manhandle the recoil. Like, if you watch Eric for President play, he holds down the trigger, empties his clip, and just compensates for recoil. A complete lack of reality. But that's okay. Population 1's a fun game. But he fires and it's like, and he just manhandles the recoil. So there's no recoiling in, or actually he compensates for the recoil. But yeah, so the gun stock, I do have another one coming too that I'm really excited for, which is 3D gear. It comes assembled because this one I like the build quality. I like how it works. But this one was a little bit of a pain in the ass to connect. By the way, Steve, while I'm on the big screen, I should show you. I have my Blast On headphones on. They need to be charged. The light is turned off.
Oh, you got the wireless Blast On headphones.
I need to charge them because they have a light, but it went dead. But yeah, Blast On. Blast On's awesome, man.
That's so brilliant. Yeah, no, Blast On took me by surprise. It's great fun, but I love that you're wearing the headphones.
Listen,
I've got nothing else to wear. I'm gonna wear these merch versions.
Any company out there that I like their game or their product, it's gonna get mentioned. Again, guys, nothing here is sponsored. Literally nothing here. No one has asked me to say anything about. No one, you know, if anyone ever does, I will totally mention that. I'll say, blah blah blah. Product endorsement here. But if that's not the case, if I like a product, I will be mentioning it here. So, and I'll always be giving you guys my honest opinion. But I know there's another product we both have used, okay? And that's the Your VR.
Oh, yes.
Now, the Your VR falls into this weird category of how it's just like an amazing product, but I don't use it very often.
It is a crazy piece of kit.
Mad. I mean, it's absolutely awesome how much additional immersion you can get in VR. But the fact that, you know, it's very specific. It's only really like, obviously you'd never use it for a first-person shooter. You're only going to use it for like simulation games. And then some
people are really into that. That's like all they play. Yes. They live for the simulation.
Absolutely. And if that's your cup of tea, man, this thing is amazing. So I've
redesigned it. The whole thing looks different.
This is actually older.
Oh, is that the old design?
Yeah. This is actually the older design. But it's great. It's a motion simulation chair. I have one right over there. I live streamed some Star Wars Squadrons in it, which was crazy. But after like 2 hours, I'm like, guys, I need a nap. I'm like,
yeah, it's exhausting.
I'm like, my back hurts. I can't play any more Star Wars, but it's amazingly immersive. But yeah, I mean, it's something else. It really is. But it's one of those pieces of tech that I like to talk about. I like to show it to people, but you know, it's not for the average person. If you're a simulation junkie, it's awesome. If you like to tinker, because you gotta tinker a lot with it. Yes. I know we talked about Linus's video where he said this thing took me 3 days to set up.
Just took them. He I don't know what happened. He had a problem. I did not take as long as him.
Well, I mean, to take it out of the box and set it all up and get it running, it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Well, actually, you need a crowbar to freaking open that box, but like after that,
crate?
Yeah, it's in a crate. But after that, you know, it's not a very long setup process. But certain games, like I wanted to get sim racing tools going, and I was just cursing at the screen. And I reached out to Kaz. I'm like, hey, Kaz,
how did you get sim tools?
Can you hold my hand? I need help. And she was sweet enough to help me. And then I ended up not doing all the work we did. I went up, set up something completely different. But I learned from her. Sweetheart, total sweetheart, both of them. But yeah, she held my hand through some of that, and then I learned, and then I did other stuff. But yeah, so I mean, they're showing off some of the games at Sports right now. It's not the biggest collection, but it's amazing tech that is not for everybody.
No, I actually got rid of mine. It got donated to a pilot training association or something.
That's awesome. Well,
so at least it went to a good cause.
See,
it was just I know. I mean, I live in an English home. They're not exactly massive.
That took up the whole bedroom.
Taking up so much room. So it
took up the entire bedroom.
My entire VR space.
Steve, if you went into Steve's bedroom, it actually just on top of his bed was the Your VR.
No, the Your VR was the bed.
Yeah, they had to sleep on top of it. My brother lives in London, so he's suffering with the space difference. So there's one other topic before we start taking questions from you guys, and Steve has to run. Facebook 2021 speculations. What do you think is going to happen this year, man?
I think absolutely nothing. I don't know what. I have no idea where they would go with it. I don't think they're going to whip anything out. But they have to, right? They've got the yearly event, so there's going to be something that's going to be quite like, oof. But I have no clue what it would be.
So, I mean, you know, I can talk negative about Facebook till I'm blue in the face, but at the same time, I can, you know, mention all the amazing stuff they're doing. I just like, I'm right now, I'm at a point where, yeah, I really don't know what's going on with VR. Are we gonna, you know, have we hit a peak and we're gonna go back into another valley? Because, you know, that's what VR has kind of been. It is this constant upward trajectory. You can't see my hand, but it's a constant upward trajectory, but it's up, down, up, down, up, down with a overall constant towards up. Not a spike, not a huge up. It's not like Half-Life Alyx releases every day, but they have been doing a lot to push it forward. But we're seeing these weird scenarios where they wanted to get games out for Christmas, so half the games on the box, weren't available, like pretty much.
Yeah.
Like the Climb 2 doesn't exist.
It's got to be about the games this year.
Yeah, the Climb 2 doesn't exist. We got half of Jurassic World, and we got half of Tales from the Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, are we going to get any more, questionable scenarios like that? And where is their direction? Are they going to push more tech? Are they going to push more games? I mean, I think they got to push the games, because I still feel like the Quest 2 is in a position where VR has been in for a while, where people are like, there are no real VR games. Everything is short experiences. It's just maybe they're 2 to 5 hours long. They're to some degree a bit shallow. There's no Half-Life Alyx. We even talked about a 16-year-old game, Doom 3, when you mod it to play on the Quest, is better than what they're releasing right now. So,
but it's a full game, right? It's a full tried and tested game.
So Lone Echo 2, what's the company that makes that? Anyway, they were purchased by Oculus. It's frustrating me that I can't remember.
Dude, don't, you're making me, I can't remember now either.
Usually I'm pretty good with these things. The faster I talk, the better my memory works, so I stop talking. And
was it them? Was it Ready?
Ready at Dawn, yeah, you got it.
Is it? Yeah?
Ready at Dawn. You got it. Thank you. You're good. You can stop looking.
I'm confirming.
You don't have to. We're good.
Ready at Dawn.
Yep. So, I mean, they have Lone Echo 2, which got delayed. We don't know if the acquisition was part of that delay. And we know that Facebook's push is Quest 2. Mobile. They've dropped the Rift platform. They will not be making any more PC-only headsets. Everything from now on will be mobile.
I wonder if they're going to go no PC-only games.
That's the question mark. Like, if you see some of the games that are coming out right now, so we technically have 3 limited time Quest exclusives right now. The first one's on the screen. That's Tales from the Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
So I mean, we don't know if it'll ever come to PC VR. It hasn't been confirmed. Now, the second one is Warhammer 40k Battle Sister, which has been confirmed it will come to PC, but it's heart and soul, it's a Quest game. The melee combat is wiggle stick. You can go and kill people.
Wiggle stick. I've not heard that term. I like that.
It's like your sword's made out of rubber, and you just stab people like that. So it doesn't have because it doesn't have the CPU to do those physics calculations. I wasn't impressed with Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. Warhammer 40k, I'm a huge 40k fan, and I found it good, but mediocre, lacking in so many respects, not enough depth. And then, even their foray into PC VR has been failing. So are they going to go all Quest 2? And what does that mean for the quality of games we're going to get?
Don't know. Or maybe this that thing where they break you down so they can rebuild you again. And this is what's happening in the VR space.
I mean, I don't think so. I hope not. I'm already broken down enough, Steve.
So it sounds like we're regressing, but really it's just to build a good foundation for us to get, in the long run, be where we should be.
Well, I mean, historically, when it comes to PC VR, what we dealt with was a lack of games. No games. Lack of games. These aren't real games. These are minor experiences. These are wave shooters. That's what we dealt with for years. Then we started to get some games, some solid experiences, get some games. And then the Quest came out, and what the Quest did was it took all our original games, our library, and ported them down. But now it looks like the way the industry is going, it's the reverse. Everything's going to come to the Quest, and they're going to port up. But when they port up, they're not going to improve the game. Yes, they'll increase the frame rate. They'll increase the texture resolution. But
yeah, well, the odd occasion they probably might, but the majority, you're right, it's just going to be a facelift.
So I mean, that scares me, and that's why I want competition. That's why I want some wild card from somebody this year. Like,
well, you can rely on Valve, right?
I don't think we can. I mean, Valve will probably. I think they'll push out some killer software this year, some killer games, or at least a killer game. I think Project Citadel might be pretty impressive, but we don't know for sure. That's all speculative and hearsay and whatever. But at the same time, like, I do think they'll impress us again. If you remember how much one game, Half-Life Alyx, pushed VR, that was pretty insane. VR spiked like 1 million, a million active users, and stayed high. It didn't go 1 million, 2 weeks later, down 1 million. It went up 1 million, and then a month later, yes, it wasn't that high, but it was still high.
Mm-hmm.
So
and Boneworks dropped as well.
Boneworks is,
that
yeah.
helps.
I mean, so we're hoping, we're hoping to see like something. I would love Valve to challenge Facebook with some type of best of both worlds scenario, because that's what's the Quest, like, its affordability and its versatility are the killer. I mean, the killer, the crux to the rest of the VR market, and the absolute blessing to everyone who wants to get into VR. You get in cheap and you could do so much with it. And I would love for Valve to come out and just be like, here's the Index 2. By the way, the back of it has a XR2 processor. I mean, I wouldn't expect them to get into the world of Linux games, but then you have cross-buy, because you'd be buying from Steam. You already have a platform that is known and loved. So you have a trustworthy, known and loved platform. You have people who know VR, arguably better than anyone else. They produce some of the best. They produced the best VR game that we've ever seen, and you have so much. So if they would do that,
I would love that.
I mean, and then if
I would love it.
And if they could do controller, camera-based tracking inside out, and then also the option for, base stations for people who already have them, you have a product that, has features no one else has. People would put their money behind Valve if they could abandon Facebook. And I honestly wouldn't care if it's $600.
No. Yeah. No, I wouldn't care if they could match it and I could have access to the Steam library on a standalone.
Yeah,
I'd love it.
I mean, obviously you're gonna have limits there. You can't do, it'd be like the Quest. You can't have the exact same library, but the game can.
You could have the Steam Workshop as well. Imagine having the Steam Workshop as part of it. That'd be so sick.
But if you put a processor in there for mobile, you put a wireless solution in there, even if it's just Wi-Fi 6. You put a wireless solution in there for PC VR gaming. Make it out of the box a wireless headset. If they perfect that technology, that's the type of thing we need in 2021 to really shake up this market. That's what we need to see. It's not better screens. It's honestly, it's probably not eye tracking. That's what we need. We need an alternative, all-in-one option that gives us a feature that no one else has. I think HTC can do it too, but I'm iffy on them.
Yeah, I have high hopes because they've got a wireless standalone solution already for enterprise. Surely it's not, a big enough leap to get.
I mean, if you do it, again, they have Viveport. It's a Netflix style service, so that's a selling point. If you say, listen, okay, our headset is $450, but you get access to our Netflix style library. And, they start putting the Linux version of games up there. You get access to this library. And then you also, you don't have to deal with Facebook. We're not tracking your data, yada, yada, yada. I think a lot of people will jump on it. I do get comments all the time. Like, the people like, what headset should I get? I'm like, well, the Quest 2 has it. No, I won't do Facebook. Now, that isn't the most common, comment I get, but it's definitely a comment, and people have strong feelings, and let's give them an alternative.
Yeah, if people say that, I'm like, I'd be kind of stumped. Like, I guess how much do you want to spend? Is the next question then.
But I mean, honestly, if there was a wishing well that actually worked, I'd be dumping in every coin I have that Valve, blew our minds this year. I mean, the index is going on 2 years, Steve. 2 years, the index is going.
It feels longer than that. It really does. 2 years. It feels so much longer than that.
I mean, the technology, not for nothing. It's still my favorite headset. Out of every headset I tried.
People are married to that device.
Out of every headset I tried, I will gladly hug my cord, and trip over it once in a blue moon for the experience it gives me. But I mean, that is what we were looking to cover today, guys. You have any questions for the man himself, Steve Knows? You guys got to speak to me for an hour. I didn't shut up for an hour. So if you guys have any questions directly for Steve, you fire them away. But if you want to ask me a question, just at Steve Knows or at Mateo311, and we'll jump on that, and we'll start answering your question, guys. Steve, they get a little shy when you show up.
Sorry. No, not Steve, not Stevie. No cues, no cues. Oh, do you think there will be a headset that has cameras on the sides and the back to track the controller from all angles? It sounds plausible. Definitely sounds plausible, but it's I'm not sure.
I mean,
whether it's worth it.
That's what I was gonna say, Steve. I mean, it definitely sounds like. I mean, they can do it, but is it worth it?
How often are you just better off improving that predictive text for that one moment you're kind of swinging behind your head?
Yeah.
Predictive text? Sorry, you know what I meant. Tracking.
Yeah, the tracking algorithm. But I followed your brain.
Thank you.
Okay, on the topic of porting games to VR, do you think there will be games that would be a natural fit?
This would crap me up. That question's hilarious.
What question did I miss? The camera behind, or what are you giggling about?
Do you think Wii games would be a good fit?
Oh,
Nintendo Wii.
Wii Fit. Up. Very funny. I see what you did there. Would Wii games be a good fit? It's very punny.
Oh, that was completely unintentional. Wow. X16 or PS5 pug.
All right, so let's see. Yeah, I would agree with that. PS5 also. But what do you think would be a good fit? When people talk first-person shooters, people are like, I want Halo, I want this. I'm like, you know what? I think Gears of War, because Gears of War is a cover shooter. And VR would make that so much more exciting. You run up behind cover, you duck, you pop up, kill a guy, pop up. When a guy gets close, chainsaw.
Oh, I would love Gears of War VR. That's such a shout. What a great game.
I mean, I think that's that's not a very old title. Well, the original Gears of War, I think, is at a point where it could be. Yeah.
So that's old. What was that? 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
It's a while ago.
Yeah.
And the Xbox 360, I think, only had like half a gig of RAM.
So I mean, I think that's good fit. I can't think of anything else offhand because VR is completely different than traditional gaming. You shouldn't be thinking what game would work good in VR. You should be thinking, let's make a good VR because we know what mechanics work in VR. That should be the approach. This is the mistake.
It doesn't translate, does it? A great flat screen doesn't mean great VR.
Yeah, this is the mistake that, I feel like that's what Respawn did with Medal of Honor. World War II would be awesome in VR. Let's do Medal of Honor. It's like, it didn't meld right. It did not meld right. Do you think that the lack of availability for GPUs will hold back potential desktop VR gamers for getting into the market? Maybe for a short period.
Yeah, definitely, right? Because I wouldn't be, if I was telling someone what rig to get for virtual reality, I'd be like, get a 30 series, wait.
Get a 3060 series when they materialize. So, definitely. Yeah, but I mean, maybe that'll hold it back for 2 months. 3 months. We should start seeing NVIDIA just secured some production with Samsung, I believe. So we should see them start streaming in, soon, a whole bunch. I somehow magically got 4 3090s and didn't scalp a single one. I didn't scalp a single one.
Yeah, you were just like raking them in.
It's like I just got lucky. I really did. So let's see. Resident Evil 4 rumors. I saw something like that. Do you have any info on that?
Big hype. Resi 4 is one of my all-time favorite games. So I'm so glad to hear that, and I hope the rumor is true. Because, if they could take Resident Evil 4 and just make it first person in VR, exactly the same game though, love it. I'd lose my mind.
I mean, so like, again, there's the scenarios like, I personally didn't like Skyrim VR and Fallout VR because I was replaying the same game. And unless it was a game I was like super in love with, like I need more than nostalgia to carry me into a game I've played already. Like, I need more than just nostalgia. It has to be a true like new VR experience. So
okay, you want to bring something new.
So I do want to see something new. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, someone mentioned The Expanse, which is just the best TV show on right now.
Yeah, someone recently mentioned this to me as well, actually, at work.
I mean, The Expanse is actually a great environment to make a like an MMO. Absolutely. You could be a Beltaloda. Ima Beltaloda.
Is that one of the characters?
Amazing show. So it takes place in the future. We're gonna digress for 2 seconds here. It takes place in the future. Earth has been split into humanity has been split into 3 major factions: Earthers, Martians, and Belters. They're people who live in the outer planets, and they mine rocks for the inner planets. They have the lowest quality of life. The biggest health problems. The inner planets have been taking advantage for them for years. And the dynamic of these 3 planets is completely different. They're all like pointing nukes at each other at all times, except for the Belters who are all poor. So they try to use like terrorist tactics. And the dynamic is absolutely amazing. The cast is absolutely amazing. And then aliens. So it's just fantastic. RE7 on PC, it's just never happening. If it was going to happen, it would have happened already. Lone Echo meets GTA. That's what The Expanse would be. Almost. I mean, yeah. I actually watched The Expanse this morning.
Dude, it's been going on for 6 seasons.
Yeah, next season is their last season. It's already planned. It was on.
Have they milked it? Is it too much milking?
No, because it came from books.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So it was originally books, and then it came to sci-fi, and it was doing really well on sci-fi, but sci-fi said the production cost is too high. So they didn't like their gap right there between what they're spending and what they're making, their profit margin. So sci-fi wasn't happy with their profit margin. They figured they can make a cheaper show that makes more money. And then
the channel sci-fi, right?
Yes.
They're doing Stargate and things like that.
Yes. So then Amazon Prime picked it up when they dropped it, which was, thank the Lord. And now it's doing great on Amazon Prime. It has this season and one more, and then it's done.
Well, I'm gonna have to check it out because you're not the first person to tell me that this week.
You absolutely have to check it out. Okay.
I really have to run.
Okay. All right, Steve. Yeah, I didn't notice the time. All right, guys, go subscribe to Steve Knows. I didn't realize the time, my man. Thanks for joining. I'll stick with you guys a couple more minutes, and then I'm out of here too. Steve, it's been fun. I'll see you next week, buddy.
Thanks, guys, and thanks for having me.
Let's get rid of him. Boop. Let's bring it in. It's just me and you guys. What's going on? What's going on, guys? I did see a comment from me that I missed. Do I buy an Index or a G2 or wait until I have something like an Index 2? I don't know if an Index 2 is coming. Kurt, I see you messaging that in my Discord all the time. I try my best. If you can't wait, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Let's see. The fact that the Expanse was tabletop is fantastic. Do I clean my VR lens with that expensive cleaning kit? I've never had to do anything besides the little, terry cloth on my lens. I like to see something like Kingdom Come Deliverance come to VR. Let's see. I know you're a great deal of VR FPS shooters. Okay, I have a great deal. But I think we should have a VR game that is like Siege, in a sense. Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. There is definitely... Well, RTS games and stuff like that aren't as popular in general these days. They're niche. But like I said, I'd love to have a Warhammer 40k actual tabletop game in VR. That would blow my mind. Cloud VR gaming actually has been a popular topic right now with what's called CES. So Nolo is going heavy on Cloud VR, and I'm skeptical because I always think latency is going to be too much of an issue. But I think, in a year or two, we should see it becoming more commonplace. Steve, I kicked Steve out. Okay. Dude, what do you mean you don't know what to tell him? Tell him to get the G2 with index base stations and index controllers. I wouldn't say that, Timothy. I mean, that expense is insane. You're going to go $600 for the G2. You're going to go 2 base stations, $300. And then you're going to go controllers, another $300 or something like that. You're at $1,200, and you don't have the FOV or refresh rate of the index. I don't know, man. And you got to deal with Windows Mixed Reality software. See, we're in a hard place. Okay, let's a Tribes 2 port. Oh my goodness, that'd be awesome. Have you tried Phasmophobia? Absolutely. There's been a couple videos. We streamed it a couple times. Phasmophobia is an absolute blast. Let's see. All right. You can bypass mixed reality. I have very limited experience. But anyway, guys, that we actually went longer than we normally go. So if you've never been here before, first thing you're going to do is I'm going to drop some links. But the first thing you're going to do is make sure you're subscribed to this channel, and you're going to make sure you're subscribed to Steve Knows. Okay, that's going to be one of the first things you do. For the people who come here and drop donations, you guys are absolutely amazing. You've blown my mind with how supportive you've been. Don't ever feel the need to do that. You guys always embarrass me. My cheeks turn red. Makes me feel weird. But if you did want to support me, the Patreon page is there, like $2 a month. I kind of prefer that a little bit because it lets me know when money's coming in. Kind of gives me an understanding. But again, I'm not here begging for your money. I do this because I love it. This isn't a full-time job. I have a full-time job. But I would love to do this. I would love to do this full-time for you guys at some point. So, that's my spiel about me. If you've never been to the channel before, on Mondays I do the VR news. So you'll know what games are coming out, when they're releasing, what I've been playing, my opinion on the games, what new tech is out. Then I do usually an opinion piece on Friday. I talk about something in the industry that I'm passionate about. Last week I talked about the Quest 2 and reasons not to buy it. In hindsight, I should have put the reasons to buy and not to buy next to each other. But I believe in that video. I believe everything I said is true. And if you guys join the Discord, we do monthly giveaways on the Discord. So you guys can just hang out. There's a ton of awesome people. Kurt's there. You can hang out with me. We give away a VR game every month. We've given away some big titles like Saints and Sinners. We give away multiple copies of Onward. It's a fun time. I jump in every day. I try and be as active as I can, but busy. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what's going on. Thank you guys for your continued support, and I will see you guys for a new video on Friday, the news on Monday, and then I will be back here again streaming an hour alone and then an hour with our friend Steve next Wednesday. So thanks for hanging out, guys. I'll see you guys next week. And then I'm going to do this end screen. Look, boop.